for one another.
We knew we needed an extraordinary love to withstand past relationship experiences, everyday bad choices, and our past hurts.
It is clear that we were brought together as one for a purpose. And as we share our love story, we pray that from our experiences, you can gain positive takeaways to use in your own life and relationship. Hey guys.
Hey.
Good evening.
We're back.
Tap on in with the
Tap
LoveByrds.
on in with the LoveByrds.
Hopefully you're
Yes.
having a good day today. The longest day. This is the
This is
longest
the longest day of the year.
It's been a
First
long...
off, wait a minute, hold tight, baby. We going too fast.
Okay.
We haven't done this so long. Hey, we're the LoveByrds. Welcome back to another exciting, informative Conversations with the LoveByrds. I'm your host, William Bird, along with my lovely wife.
I'm Darlene Bird. We're the LoveByrds.
And together we love,
We love people.
and we love you.
We love you.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks for joining
Good to see
in.
you
Go ahead and
guys.
tap in. Invite
While
somebody.
we do our housekeeping,
and let them know that
Liking
the
and
LoveByrds
sharing.
are on. They're having another conversation.
the LoveByrds are talking about something.
Yes, we are. So
This
go
is
ahead
going to
and
be a
tap
very
in.
interesting show, guys.
It
Because
should be
listen,
interesting. It's been an interesting week
it's
around
been
here.
a very interesting week.
I got a new grandbaby,
Yeah, and we got the grandbaby.
and which means that the under
other-
2-year-old older brother is hanging out with us.
Yes.
So you might hear some nursery rhymes in the back. You might hear some Tyler stuff going on,
Cohen
but
and
we're gonna push
Tyler,
through.
yeah.
And we're going to talk about, we're going to let you know, we've been talking about something lately.
Yes.
And it's been happening in relationships, and it happens in ours. It happens in every relationship. We've been talking about the blogs.
The blogs.
We've been talking about what happens with the relationship blogs.
I titled it, "What's Up with the Slow Down?"
Yeah, he said, what's up with the slowdown?
I don't know.
And, that, you know, and
Yes.
in languaging nowadays, they call it the meh, the
The
M-E-H. It's
meh.
meh. Like, what's up with the
Meh.
meh? It's kind of that in-between
The in
state.
between.
There's actually really a term for it.
Yes, it really is.
A psychological term for it that was developed during COVID, but it's used ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's talking about, what's the term that we were seeing lately?
Languishing.
It's languishing, and it means somewhere between what and what. Somewhere between.
Not bad, but not great.
Yeah,
It's good, it's okay, but the lavishing is
somewhere
languishing
between
is-
depressed and thriving. It's just
Yeah,
that middle
the
middle
middle.
ground.
They call it the middle child in mental health.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Somewhere between depression and then flourishing. It's just that right in that
thriving,
middle.
yeah. It's right in the middle.
And we're gonna talk about that today.
We're
We're gonna
gonna
talk about
the
that
blahs,
relationship blah.
The relationship blah.
When that comes along.
the ho hum.
The whole hum, the
blah,
humbug, what to do
the
about that
humbug.
part.
Yes. That's what we're going to talk about.
And it happens in every relationship.
Yes.
It happens in every relationship. And sometimes it's good. Like
Yes.
for example, for us, we need it. I mean, we've had a heck of a year. You know, we've had some travel. We've had some construction, major construction at the house. We've had some projects that we pushed through.
So we're in a kind of a forced slowdown.
And and that's not bad. We need that.
Yeah, we
Thank
need
you,
it.
Fatima.
Hey,
Thanks for
everybody.
inviting people.
What's up, Ty-Rex?
Hey guys.
Everybody.
But we're talking
Yeah.
about the blah part of the relationship. You know,
Yeah.
when you're just kind of at that middle, that even keel. So we've been talking about it, and so we did a little research and to see what others have been talking about it. What some of the relationship therapists have been talking about it, that languishing stage where you're right in the middle.
And the first thing we found out about it is that it's kind of normal. I like to think that me and Darlene, we have a good marriage. We support each other in everything that we do. We say nice things to each other. We're always outgoing about, serving each other and just trying to be, generally good to each other.
Yeah.
But every now and then, man, it comes a time we just hit a patch where it's just like,
Yeah.
We
What's up
get
with
the
the rhythm?
meh.
What's up with the
Yeah,
rhythm?
we talk
just
about
get-
the rhythms. Yeah, we just
Yeah.
get out. It's not even so much like getting out of rhythm because it could be, it could happen today and tomorrow everything could be right back normal. You know, like, but today was just like one of those days we just couldn't find that connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have that every once in a while, not too often.
No, not too often.
But
I mean,
but
if you're having them too often, it's
a-
painstaking.
that's
Then there's some other issues you need. If you're constantly at the blahs, you need something more than what we got for you.
Yeah. But the good news is that it's normal.
It's normal.
And that every relationship has
Inevitable.
it. You're not always going to be in that honeymoon stage. You might not always love each other, you know,
the
at the top.
air.
But we do. Like, we're never like on the bad side. It's just sometimes it's kind of a little more silent, I guess.
It's more
or
more
missing.
Like and you're right when you say that, like that silent, like that. It's more like a comfortable silence, I would say. We don't get into that. You know, it's just we just over here, you're over there. As long as you know, one thing I love about our relationship is that even in those, and this may not be for everybody, even in the, if me and Darlene are in the house, it's like we can walk past each other 3 or 4 times, and it's always, you okay, babe? You okay? We'll say it 3 times in a conversation. I'll come in the room. I'll say, baby, you okay? We'll talk about something, say something else, and she'll say, you okay, babe? And I'll say, yeah, I'm okay. Then just as I'm leaving to go back out in the shop, she'll say, you sure you okay?
Right.
So
we just check on each other.
We always
just check
I love
on
that
each
part
other.
about our relationship.
Yeah. If we haven't checked on each other, something's off.
Yeah,
something's a little off. Yeah.
That's one way we can tell.
That's one way we can tell.
And especially when we talked about that languishing, you know, there were I mean, like a definite list.
Yeah, where's that list? There were some signs that you're really languishing, and okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, there was a definite list.
It was that list. And like we said, we're talking about that languishing. We're talking about the blah, the ba, and the humbug in relationship. When you hit that patch with things, you know, you're not really out of flow. It's just you're not, you know, as connected as you like to be.
Right.
And we found out some of the signs that you may be languishing in your relationship, right there in between that ba and humbug and thriving and or not depressed but not thriving actually. And they started out with like, you don't look forward to seeing each other in the evenings.
Yeah, now these are some of the when you're really languishing to where you're really gonna need some adjustment needs to happen. You don't want to stay there too long.
Right.
But it does happen.
Snowball, yes.
Yeah, not looking forward to evenings together.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've loved about my husband, it was a change for him when we got married and when we started our relationship. He was like, I love running straight home to you. And he said that hasn't always been my case. But if there becomes a problem when you do not look forward to those evenings together.
Yes. Not laughing together as much is a great way to gauge whether or not you're languishing.
Okay.
You guys are not having fun. You're not, you know,
don't enjoy
like,
each other.
You're not enjoying each other. You're not
get on each
sharing
other's
those,
nerves. You get on my
those
nerves.
funny moments during the day or something like that. That could be a sign that you're languishing.
Right.
Not wanting to spend a happy moment with your partner is definitely a sign.
Yeah, bickering.
That you could bickering, that kind of stuff. Yes.
Just negative responses,
definitely
short tempered, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The short, quirky, short quips like, no, yes, yeah, meh. What the heck was that?
And those sighs and those gasps and
the heavy.
all of that.
Remember I talked about the heavy sigh?
All of that. No. There's some languishing going on there.
That's some languishing. The heavy sigh. You get the heavy sigh a lot, guys. Ladies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a languishing sign right there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You talked about how we enjoy a comfortable silence, but it become one of the things that they talked about when languishing in the relationship is when that comfortable silence is now just a bored.
Yeah, like
a bored silence. A bored as in I would rather be somewhere else doing something else.
Oh, I hope you don't say nothing to me, man.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I ask you all the time. Listen, are you where you want to be?
Right.
And are you doing what you want to do?
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about it. And then we do things. Just like, remember the other day we were just, it was a rainy day and I think we were in the house.
Yes.
And then you got the dominoes out. We started playing dominoes. You started teaching me how to play dominoes and I beat and I
No,
won.
no, you didn't.
But you started teaching me how to play.
I like how you just tried to sneak
You
that
tried
in
to
there.
play
She
dominoes.
got the bone one time.
But that's
But
something
yeah.
that we did just to kind of break it and kind of come together
I
again.
love when we do that.
Yeah.
Break out the conversation.
Yeah, there's a
cards
lot
and
of other things on
other
there,
things,
like
a lot of lists
like
on
you're
that
not
list.
trying it with your appearance like you used to, or the sex drive goes away, and
being annoyed at their habits.
it's a struggle to make plans for the future. Like that's a
Yes.
struggle. Like I don't even want to kind of be with you or whatever, that kind of thing. There's some serious languishing, and a lot of languishing happened before COVID and then after COVID. But
If you're struggling to make it through a date night,
oh man. All right, so
Yeah.
so what do we do about the languishing, baby?
what we do about the languishing, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check our own mental state. We're going to check and make sure that we're not experiencing any critical thinking or ruminating or blurry or fog thinking. Make sure that our minds, we're not overthinking anything.
Check your individual state,
you
because
wanna
you
check-
might be
you might
individually
be the one languishing.
depressed or going through
Yes,
something,
and
right?
that's what the experts say.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say
yeah.
check your, because most times your boredom is brought on by yourself. True story. Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is you want to check your own mental state.
Right.
I mean, check your list.
You also want to focus on the good.
Yes.
Not just
Very
all
good.
of the bad and highlighting the bad and over exaggerating the bad.
Right.
But just try to highlight the good and remember the good.
The good things,
Even the
yes.
small little
Highlight the
things.
good
Yeah,
things.
highlight the good.
Don't highlight the bad things.
Yeah.
Because you can bring the bad things to light. And they will take over too.
Yeah.
Because you're
yeah.
much more likely to stress on some bad things than you are on some good things.
Yeah.
No doubt.
A third thing is what we do is talk about it. Have a serious conversation about it. What's going on with us? Are we good? Where are we?
Yes.
What do we need to, we like those assessment questions. What do
assessment
we need to do
questions.
differently? How can we get out of this? But have one of those meetings where you're just kind of honest about
What
really
did you
kind of where
call
you
it?
are.
The come to Jesus,
Come to Jesus meeting. Hey, we
Gotta
have
have
to
the
come to Jesus meeting.
Come to Jesus meeting and get you there. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Noticing the flows between you and your partner. Understanding the moment, in the moment that you're in.
We did a whole podcast on those flows,
On the flow,
understanding the
yes.
flows and those rhythms, and
Yes.
if you're jiving together, if you're flowing together, or if you're flowing apart. But
Yep.
just notice how you're flowing.
Noticing if you're a little flat on the. Forgot we got the baby, y'all. We gotta be watchful.
See that?
He all over the place.
Okay.
This guy can
All
operate
right.
the tablet.
And
This guy is
be super appreciative of each other, like
Yes.
like overemphasize. And Fatima's talking about being honest about what you need. We want to
Yes.
talk about needs for just a
We
quick
will
minute.
talk about that in just a second.
Yeah. So being super appreciative. Was there something else?
I think that was pretty much really the gist of that. To keep it short and sweet.
All right. So you hear some nursery rhymes in the back because we have my grandson, because my
That's
other
not-
grandson was just born,
not
so
our
we got
theme
the older grandson, and this is really interesting, but we wanted to still have our podcast.
Absolutely.
But I want to talk about what Fatima said about that, the needs. So
The needs.
yeah, because while ups and downs in a relationship are normal, staying connected emotionally is all about recognizing individual needs.
Yes.
And having conversation about those needs. And I don't think we've done a whole thing on it, but hold on one second. He wants me to hit
Recognizing those physical needs. We have not done a whole thing
we
on
did
it.
the whole thing on those love
Love
languages,
languages.
but we did do
Yes.
his needs and her needs.
Yes,
but,
we did do
But
that.
the love languages, and Gary Chapman is famous for calling them the love languages. But basically, what they are being aware of the ways to love each other best. What is the best way to love me? And what is the best way that I can love you? So, and he coined them love languages, and that's just what it is. And there's
Yes.
a quote Gary wrote that I love. It says, yeah, I have it. If we learn to meet each other's emotional need to feel loved and choose to do it,
Choose to do it.
the love we share will be exciting beyond anything we've ever felt.
I love that.
I love that quote because
Gotta choose to
sometimes we don't choose to meet the needs. Now, I
Yes.
mean, I've heard husbands say, "Oh, she's too needy." Okay,
Yeah.
so what you're saying is you don't want to fulfill that need. that's too much for you, or or was she that way when you met her, or you're tired of doing it. So I love that he says, learn to meet each other's deep emotional needs to feel love. Choose to do it, right? The love we share will be exciting behind anything we've ever felt. And just to really recap those 5 love languages, there's 5 ways to love. To either to love or to be loved, and everybody has their own. Normally, relationships, you have different love languages, but the one is the physical touch, and that's the hugs, the pats on the back, the holding hands, the rubbing. All of that is a way to is a love language. So if you're loving me in other ways and I'm not getting these things, I don't feel loved. And I don't care how much you say it or buy me gifts. If I'm missing, if my love language is you physically touching me and holding me, I will not feel loved. I'll feel neglected. The second one is words of affirmation. That's I have to hear you. You can't just say, well, I love you. I'm always here. No, I need to hear the words of affirmation. I need to be affirmed by your words. I need to be comforted by your words. I need to be encouraged by your words. So if you're doing other things and you're not giving me the words of affirmation that I need, I don't feel loved. So again, we're talking about loving each other
the way you want to be loved.
We're talking about loving each other in the best way, the best way that they could be loved. Okay, the third one
and
is
the way that your partner needs to be loved.
the way they need
because
to be loved.
The love languages are not just selfish desires.
No.
The love languages are necessities.
They're emotional needs. And let me tell you something about emotional needs that I've learned. They don't go away. You could bury them with work and busyness, but your emotional needs is going to keep poking their head out.
Exactly.
They'll be buried alive, and they're going to come forth in bigger, uglier ways. Those emotional needs don't go away. I've experienced that in my first relationship. You can do all that you want to do, but those needs are still there, and they're not going away. So they are needs. They're not selfish desires. You're created in certain ways that you need different things to feel loved. That's what it is. So they are needs.
And they're real. Very, very real.
Physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service.
Acts of service. That's my
is an
favorite.
emotional need. An act of service. They speak volumes. Let me do that for you. Let me take that off your plate. What can I do to make your life easier today? What can how can I step in and be of help to you? I see what you're doing and I want to help and I want to serve you. Or, there's something I can take off your plate and bring to this relationship to help you. So an act of service
Very good.
is a great emotional need. And, I might hear you tell me you love me, but you don't help me when I got all this on my plate. So I don't feel loved. I feel, maybe neglected or, those types of things.
Is this your favorite one?
Acts of service is my favorite. Acts of service is
we
my
got
favorite
that
one.
in common.
I don't know if acts of service is so much yours.
You thought mine's are what? You think
You like words of affirmation. You definitely like physical touch.
Oh.
But you like a lot of them because you like to receive gifts too. Okay. So you like a lot of them. Then you can have several.
No.
So physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service.
Yes.
Number 4 is quality time.
Quality time.
And that's really
Just being there in the moment. Being there when your partner needs you. Being there in times where there's an emotional need or a physical need or you just need to be there for that person in that moment. That quality time when they need you, you need to be there. And that's all quality time is. Spending spending time on the beach, a walk in the park, a picnic, things like that were great ways to include quality time into the relationship or implement quality time.
being there, making time for the person, like putting the phone down, putting everything down, and just really spending time, listening, all of those things. Not just time, but quality time.
Yes.
Right. Where all of my attention is on you.
Exactly.
I mean, even if you do that 30 minutes a day, if your person needs quality time.
30 seconds a day is
yeah.
It only takes. What did we say in that podcast? It takes how many seconds to connect?
To make the connection.
See.
Yeah, to connect, yes. But if my desire is quality time, and that's my love language, you're gonna have to give it to me.
You gotta give a lot.
Even if it's I'm gonna need it more.
Yeah.
Instead of the passing.
Yeah. But don't listen to don't miss out on the opportunity to be in the moment also.
That's right. That's right.
That's my part about that.
And the fifth one is gifts. So Receiving gifts. Some people like gifts. Like, did you buy me something? Did you think of me when you were out? Did you stop and pick out a card for me? Some people like gifts, and some people don't. Like me, I'm not a gift. I'm not a gift person.
No.
But some people are gift persons. They want
Yes.
they want you to buy them a gift or think about them or shop for them or if you know I need something, pick it up for me. It's kind of an act of service too, but it's
Right.
also it's also a gift or and it could be little things. It could be, I stopped and got you this coffee from Starbucks, or just something that says I stopped and I put forth some effort. I bought you something. I brought something home for you. So the 5 love languages, according to Gary Chapman, are physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and receiving gifts. If you know what yours is, why don't you write it in the chat? If you know what your what your love language, what your love language is, and it can be different. And husbands
Yes.
and wives or partners, boyfriends, girlfriends can have different love languages. Like you said, mine is acts of service. Just having someone help or see or lift my burden is huge for me. What are your favorite?
Love languages?
Yeah, my two. If I had
Acts
to
of
pick two,
service. If I had to pick two,
yeah,
it would be acts of service. And I would have to go with physical touch.
yeah, and so is mine, and physical touch. Yeah, it's so important. It's so important.
Very important.
And I, you realized that in me earlier because I got married as a kid. I was married for 27 years to someone who couldn't emote.
Right.
So those feelings weren't there, and so he realized that. And then, my sister was born before I was 1, so I was never even a baby. Like I didn't get held. I had to grow up fast. So just never having the physical touch and the hugs and the I love you and the cuddles and the pulled in close, I didn't have that. So I went without that. I was a huge deficit. And so he realized that that was a deficit for me and a need, and he just, wanted to fulfill that need for me. Like
Yes.
the quote that I read about wanting to do it, choosing to do it. And he's like, I want to do that anyway. So he just
That's what Fatima just said.
he just takes the time to do that. If we're driving in the car, his hand is on my leg, or his hand is on my back, or he just makes sure he's touching me. And it's kind of reaffirming and reassuring to me because I've lived a life where I felt like I was alone, surrounded by people, but alone, like doing everything myself and handling things myself and making every decision myself. And so now to have a husband who wants to fill those needs is important, even in the blah times. So we talked about being in the blah times, even in the blah times, to where you're not in your thrive, but you're not in your depression. You're in the middle. If you're still loving each other
Yes.
in the way that they want to be loved, that's how you get through those times.
What about that feeling and those feelings of being disconnected? That's basically what we're talking about. And we understand that these are seasons in our relationship where we feel less connected, and then, like we said, unless it's an ongoing and painful thing, and you're not finding a light at the end of the tunnel, most of this stuff is pretty much, you can work on it. Sometimes the children get in the way, sometimes work gets in the way, and we do disconnect. But if both partners take on the responsibility of working together at it, trying to, resolve the issue and moving forward and moving towards, reconnecting, then, like I said, this stuff is inevitable, it's normal. Sometimes it's even healthy or warranted. But as long as we make the effort, choose to and want to fulfill that need, then we can make it through those
You can
times.
get through the blogs.
You can get through the blogs.
mess.
Absolutely.
Meh. You
Yeah,
can get
the
through those
meh.
down periods.
Meh.
You can get through it. You can get
Wow, I
through
like
it.
saying that.
Yes.
You can definitely get that.
I have a closing thought.
You got a closing thought? Give it to me.
It's just what we're talking about. About all relationships go through that, and it's normal to experience it. But we continue to work on ours.
Absolutely.
So we keep a pulse on it, and so we make
always
sure it's
keep
not
a
going too far to the left now. But it's okay. We enjoy a comfortable silence with each other. Sometimes it's just time to regroup, to exhale, maybe doing some things that we enjoy individually, different hobbies, or just working on ourselves and some self-care during that time.
Or setting up for our next big project. You know what I mean? We just now talked about that. We, right now, like we said, we're kind of in this forced, like, we're going to take a break for a minute.
Yeah.
So, but we're already thinking about what we're going to do next year.
That's right.
Like, so
We're planning.
we've already
Fatima,
planned.
we got similar stories, and we're gonna connect offline. But that's my life story. That's where leadership and class president. I grew up quick. I was a grown up as a child, and so learning to do for myself, and having a husband come in who's wanting to do those things was a great place.
Yes.
Was a great place. So anyway, just realize this is the closing thought in it. When you're going through the mez and kind of the blahs, or you call it the slow down. Some slow down periods are good, but just make sure they don't last too long and you're not just disconnected. And there's not that negativity in that disconnection.
Baby, okay, can I ask you a question? What did you call it? The one time you had this term, right? It just is on the tip of my tongue. You called it the something.
What? The down period?
Yeah. I forgot. It's just not
like
But anyhow,
it's when I say the re-up, time to just fall back and just re-up.
No, it was the re-up, but it was something.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just blanked out.
You are just realize you're two different people in the relationship, right?
Yes.
You have different personalities and all that, and that's normal. You probably have different ways that you want to be loved. Just don't pull back on those places, knowing that those are needs. Let's fill those needs, right?
Right.
You could have different emotional needs. If you're feeling emotionally disconnected from your significant other, it may be helpful to think back on what are the emotional needs for that person and love them in the way that they need to be loved, even during the down times. Even during the down times, if they need words of encouragement, if they need a gift, if they need that quality time or an act of service, even though things you may not be in the thriving part of the relationship, you're in that slow down part. Just make sure you're still loving them in the way that they want to be loved, right? Hopefully it'll be helpful.
Yes.
Won't fix every problem, but it can make us focus on what the true emotional needs are in the relationship.
Yeah.
Hope this was helpful. We're the LoveByrds, guys.
LoveByrds. I'm William Bird.
And I'm Darlene Bird. Together we love people and we love love.
And we love you.
And we love you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Short and sweet tonight.
Short and sweet tonight. Got to get the boy. Peace.